Welcome to an episode of Potion Sword Run. In this episode, we're going to be talking about a bunch of different subjects, and if there's something that you don't like politics or Dweeb of the Week, it's all good, just skip ahead. But if you do, just watch the whole thing, because in the end, it's just going to be the end. First off, IHOP and Xbox looks like they're going to be doing some marketing collaboration deal where if you go to IHOP, you can join their reward programs, and in return, you get other points for a Game Pass and stuff like that. They're also going to have Xbox-centric syrup pourers, and it looks like you might be able to play games inside of IHOP. I'm not sure, but they want to promote Game Pass and stuff like that and other Xbox games and features. You can see a bunch of different promotional material that I got here. Now, this is something that I found from shortiesrewards.com or something, where they're giving rewards for type of marketing partnerships that I guess they had a hand in of doing. So this is something from 2022, but I don't remember them collaborating in 2022 and having these type of things. So this might be something that they had been working on for a while, and now they're actually going to come into fruition. IHOP's Twitter doesn't really say much about it, but this is the only thing that I could pretty much find about it. I think it's pretty cool to have just different companies collaborating like that. Like if they can have a kiosk where they have Game Pass, or even this little controller thing at tables. I mean, it might be sticky and shit, but clean it, whatever it is, what it is. And being able to play different games and be able to experience Game Pass, that could actually be pretty huge, given that IHOP as a chain is one of the two main breakfast places that we have in the United States, and plus international supposedly. But that's something pretty cool that you can keep your eye out for. I don't really go to IHOP that much. Too much sweetness, you know what I mean? But I'll definitely hit it up if I can get some kind of exclusives or something, or just points. I don't know. See what it is when they announce the actual collaboration and program. And Fortnite wants to sell you digital shoes. It looks like they'll be dropping shoes that you can buy for your characters. These are some Nikes, but I don't doubt that there's going to be a lot of more different type of shoes. And I know people are out there, like thinking, are we really at that point where we're going to buy digital shoes? And I'm going to tell you, I was one of those people, but I don't hate it. Like if I had a game that I played constantly, like for years, it was my to-go game, and I had a character that I worked on throughout that game, I wouldn't mind buying some cool shoes for him. It's like an avatar that you have, your digital avatar that's out there. Especially for those that only play Fortnite or Fortnite's in their main rotation. I can get it. When I was into Destiny, I was all into the Crucible and getting that type of armor because it showed that I actually did blood for my armor. I wasn't part of doing PvE and getting that type of armor, even though that was the main part of the game. I liked but the reason why is because I like decking out my character in that type of armor. And so I mean, I don't know. I'm thinking of getting to that point where games are like Ready Player One, where you have one avatar and you can move him within all different type of games. Then, if we're able to do that somehow universally, being able to buy shoes, jackets, and anything for your character would make a lot more sense. But just think of that in a smaller scale, where if you only play Fortnite, or if that's one of your main games, and you know how Fortnite is, you can have different events and stuff. It's almost like Ready Player One in a smaller scale. So buying shoes and stuff like that, I can see it being a big thing. Imagine though, like these companies, Nike, they're going to make a shitload of money selling you digital clothes. I mean, this is the future, like it or not. And someone like me who was we're very wary of corporations and everything nickel and diming you. Being at ease with this just goes to show that the times are changing, maybe, or just some things are pretty cool, or maybe we'll see. I don't know. I like it. I don't hate it. Put it that way. But speaking of Fortnite, Kamala Harris and Tim Waltz want you to play in their map. They drop in a map to reach out to the young crowd, to the gamers, to the youth of America by giving you guys a map in Fortnite called Freedom Town. Instead of offering young people out there free college tuition, universal health care, a living wage, housing that's affordable. They're going to give you a map that you can play. That's the way they're going to reach out to you. Instead of giving you stuff that's going to benefit you in real life, they want to give you something that's digital. That's the way they're going to reach out to you. So it just goes to show that these politicians don't really care for you, but they'll do everything they can to pander to you. That being said, it's still your civil duty to go out and vote. Vote for whoever you want. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. But there's important things when you do vote. Even if you're not into politics because you know they're both going to screw you, there's measures that actually do impact your community. There's a Measure 33 in California that tackles rent issues. And, there's these big old corporations and then other people that are fighting it out and lying to you and stuff. So do your research about this stuff. But there are measures and there are different little local issues that do matter, and you do have your voice. Where I live in California, it's most likely that Kamala is going to win because we pretty much lean Democrat here for a long time. But, it is what it is. In your neck of the town, you're going to vote for because that's probably where you grew up and that's how your values and your places are. But it doesn't mean that we're against each other. It doesn't mean that I hate you and you should hate me. It just means that we're American and we are doing our democratic duty and our civil duty in voting and what we think is right. And in the end, we're all Americans and we should be on the same team. And that's the way that I'm going to live my life. Unlike the dweeb of the week. Now, I stepped away from doing the grift show where I would follow all these grifters and call them out all the damn time. But once in a while, a dweeb of the week does come my way, so I decided to bring that little part back into my show. And this week's dweeb of the week goes to Joey Central for leaving me this comment on a video I made about Dragon Age Veilguard.
Yeah, you're definitely the targeted audience for this modern day slop. Let me guess, you're voting for the DEI woman this week too.
That because I said that Dragon Age Veilguard is selling to their audience. The people who wanted to buy the game, the people who the game was made for, are loving it, and it shows in the sales. And he gets all crazy and DEI and puts politics into it. That's why I stepped away from all that stuff. But it keeps on coming back. So I just let him know. You're definitely a racist, bigot piece of shit. I guess we all have our place. And that's all you can do. There's no point in getting mad at these individuals. They're confused. They listen to people like Smash JT, 8-Bit Eric, Grums. They're brainwashed. They think politics is their lives. It isn't your life. Politics was created to control everybody. Remember, back in the days, the states were all loose. People were having fun, exploring the great unknowns, fighting Indians for land, and, just living the life unraw. But then the politicians came in and say, hey, let's start controlling people. Let's start putting political parties and start thinking like us and start fighting within each other to control and power. And then you start indoctrinating people, and it's just like sheep everywhere. And that's where you put your life in. You start following that type of life instead of following the life that you want to follow. Politics started sinking into your life and that became your identity, but it doesn't have to be. You can still be part of politics, but it doesn't have to consume you. And people like this, it's consumed and it's pretty sad. So all you gotta do is just chuckle, ha ha ha, and live your life the best you can. And that's what I intend to do. So for this week's Dweeb of the Week goes to Joey Central for giving me opinions that nobody asked for and nobody cares about. Which brings me to Dragon Age Veilguard. And I came across a tweet where, I guess in Dragon Age Veilguard, I haven't bought it, I'm not gonna buy it, but you go to a bar and you're forced to actually take a drink. And there's people out there who are recovering alcoholics who have a hard time with this because they're trying to, role play into the game, but then, they can't role play taking drinks because, they're fighting alcoholism. And that's just kind of one step to taking a drink, maybe. So this one guy was saying that he pretended as cider. And for all he knows, it could be cider. So he's going to continue to role play in that so that his disbelief in the game won't, be removed. But I never really thought about that issue where you're forced to take drugs and fall out and you're forced to drink in certain games. And people with substance abuse out there can, really take issue in the game and not want to play it, or just kind of put it down because it could be a trigger. But someone else, Gene Park, another person that I follow on Twitter, mentioned that in CD Projekt Red, Cyberpunk 2077 game, you can actually refuse to drink or refuse to take any type of drugs as part of the options in the game. And I thought that was pretty kind of, you're not, CD Projekt Red and Cyberpunk 2077 is not given that much credit, but little things like that make a huge difference. I mean, just given the option to take it or not. It's not a big deal. It's like just, simple coding, really. But it goes a long way for people who are recovering from substance abuse and stuff like that. And for game developers out there, and for people who play games or just in general who are interested in this type of stuff, it's kind of eye-opening for, the way you're going to approach games in the future. I mean, if you want to be an awesome RPG, then you should be given a choice not to, do drugs or drink. Me, I freaking kept on drinking to the days, I was shit-faced in that game. But in real life, I don't really drink. I drink maybe on occasion for a toast or something, but whenever I go out and stuff, I don't go out drinking. I don't know. I just thought it was something interesting, especially for developers who are going to be making games out there, or just people in general who, don't really think about that stuff, how video games really do affect you in your real life. Anyways, I'm going to leave it right there. I hope you enjoyed this show. I know it was a long one. I'm going to be doing shows like this often, maybe, whenever I have a chance. But I'm just going to keep on mixing it up in this channel, keep things fresh, and we'll see what the next one holds. Thank you guys for watching. If you watched this far, thank you for giving me your time. I know it's precious. Remember to enjoy your life. That's the most important thing you can do, and love yourself. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace.